ऑडियो ठीक है? हाँ. हेलो. हाय. चेक.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
No, it's a fanboy directing his idea. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. But I actually think it's a lot tougher for him because it's a fanboy in me directing.
So the fanboy moment, I sometimes we'll get, oh my God,
Right.
this man is creating something big,
Right.
big. So it's a fanboy moment for us.
You didn't hear that, right? He said it's a fanboy moment for him.
No. What
For us, because see,
the film industries of the various film industries of India being at a loss and all that, I can guarantee there will not be a single year of cinema's existence where cinema as a business has turned over an annual net profit.
Right.
did a film called Company.
Right.
Ram Gopal. He saw only one film of mine. It's called Mandanam. That's all.
Ah.
I said, how can you
yeah.
ask me to do this role? No, I know.
To see Vandanam and to cast you as really
Yeah.
possible.
47 years. That is a long time to be in cinema, let alone rule the screen. But that's what our special guest today has done. I have screen icon Mr. Mohanlal with me, and the man who dons so many hats that I don't even know what to call him. Actor, filmmaker, all-round charmer, Prithviraj Sukumaran.
Thank you so much.
They're going to talk about their new film, L2 Empuraan. Thank you for the time, gentlemen. Welcome to Hindustan Times. I'm going to start with you, Prithvi, and I'm going to ask you that when you come up with a sequel, is there any sort of pressure? Because A, it is a film that people are now anticipating because of Lucifer's success. B, you yourself are colored by what the first film has done.
Yeah.
So how do you approach it in a fresh, organic manner and not with any sort of baggage?
So there is pressure. I'm not going to lie because I'm very aware of the fact that everyone who's going to walk in to watch the second part of the franchise would have in some way or the other imagined their own version of the film.
Right.
From what they've seen in the first part and the first part having released and then going on to become what is like a cult film and character. So I'm aware of it. But that anticipation is also what I'm banking on. That is what I'm hoping will serve as the catalyst for this film. Having said that, I do have to tell you that this was always envisioned as a three-part franchise.
Right.
So the second part of Lucifer was not a film that was born out of the success of Lucifer.
Right.
Yes, it is happening because Lucifer was a big hit and that gave us the liberty to sort of expand the franchise and make a bigger film. But the ideation was always there. So is the case for the third part of the franchise.
It's organic.
Yes. So I did not take in the eventuality of Lucifer being a big hit in terms of actually ideating for the second part of the franchise.
Right.
My writer, Mr. Murli Gopi, had always envisioned three parts. But yeah, I know that there is immense anticipation, there is immense expectation. And I hope I don't disappoint. Yeah.
Fingers crossed, and we are all hoping the same. Mohanlal sir, I know that outside the Malayalam film industry, there's a perception that Malayalam cinema is about finesse and storytelling, and that is right, because the content that you guys make is fabulous. But you, in your last few films, apart from, let's say, Drishyam, have tried to get that mass pan-India appeal as well. That stories that can appeal to everyone and which are made on a very large scale. Is that a conscious choice of you doing Lucifer, Empuraan, Burrows, or is it just a natural progression of your career?
Can call it as a natural, like nothing is forcefully done.
Right.
From the time of Puli Murugan, from much before we tried similar terms like pan-Indian or like from Kalapani. But Puli Murugan has given a serious impact on, because it was dubbed in a couple of languages.
Right.
Previously, my films used to dub in Telugu or in Kannada. Some of like Sandosh, even Yotha, so many films.
Right.
Priyadarshan's film. But later in some part it's just faded. So again it started from Puli Murugan. And we never tried to come out with so this is going to a pan-Indian film. It's just happening.
Yeah.
But when we tried Lucifer, it was accepted by all over India. So as he said, it is not a sequel. So we have 3 chapters. Like it's like a beautiful novel or a trilogy like thing. You write a book, it's 3 books. So they know that the film is ready, that the story is ready. So as he said, it all depends upon the success. So now third part is more complicated to make and see. And like you said, the expectations that we don't know what they expect from a film like Empuraan. So we tried our best to satisfy their emotions, their expectations.
Now, let's see. When you're directing him, how do you separate the fanboy from the filmmaker when you're looking at the monitor?
I don't.
You don't.
It's a fanboy directing his idea. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. But I actually think it's a lot tougher for him because it's a fanboy in me directing.
Really?
Because there are so many things that I keep asking of him because of my aspiration of what a Mohanlal film should be.
Yes.
So I'm not going to sit here and claim that I've been absolutely objective about it and all that. I've indulged myself at multiple points in the film, which for a normal Malayali audience, when you see the film, especially for Malayalis, you see the film, you'll immediately know, okay, this is this Prithviraj letting loose. I have not.
So he was like a fanboy on the set, or he was very professional?
No, nothing like that. So he's totally into the film.
Right.
He's not directing actually, just he's making that film. He's not like the director. He makes the film into that format. And not only with me, with every actor, he's so particular that they should perform well. And I was claiming, if you ask me, maybe which is your best film now, I'll say Empuraan.
Really?
As all the actors, because they have how he's utilizing the artist in a film is a fabulous thing. That it will show on the film. So the fanboy moment, I sometimes we'll get, oh my God, this man is creating something big, big. So it's a fanboy moment for us.
You didn't hear that, right? He said it's a fanboy moment for him.
No.
For us, because seriously,
You missed that. He mentioned a very important point is that in the North we feel that the superstar culture, so as to say, is dying. That this current generation with Mr. Bachchan and the Khans, they're the last of the superstars, we say. Do you feel that is the way in the South as well? Because everyone in this generation is so much on social media as well now, that they are stars, they're superstars, but everyone knows these people very well too. Do you think that there will be no superstars in the future after you guys?
These are all terms, megastars, superstars. This is given by the audience. Like that time it was, we had the chance of acting in so many numerous films.
Right.
I don't know whether people will complete 400 films, 500 films. That is also a big question. Impossible. Because the totality of the film making changed. The entire vision of the film got changed. So that time it was like a number of hits. So it's slowly a term. It's a development. And finally they'll put a megastar or a superstar. So it is like a title given.
Right.
But definitely there will be great actors. There will be great actors for the younger generation. But they have to get good scripts. They have to get good directors, good colleagues. I had the chance of working with amazing directors, and my co-stars are brilliant co-stars. They only created me, not me. Seriously, or photographer, or whoever. Yeah.
And Empuraan comes at a very crucial time because your films creatively are doing so amazing. Commercially, the last couple of months haven't been that well. I just read a report that there was only one hit film in February. Some of the films didn't even earn 1 lakh, and it does sort of hurt because business is important. How ambitious would you say is Empuraan, not just for you, but for the industry as a whole?
There are two parts to that question. I'll answer the first part. You see this whole hue and cry about the film industries, of the various film industries of India being at a loss and all that. I can guarantee there will not be a single year of cinema's existence where cinema as a business has turned over an annual net profit.
Right.
It's a high risk, high failure in industry. Everyone knows that.
Right.
Is this being spoken about more right now? Because we have social media, we have news channels, we have means of communicating more accessible to the general public. There has never been any film industry in the world where you've made 100 films a year and 80 of them have been super hits. It's always been a high failure rate. That's that. And why is the business so attractive? I mean business, not the creative part of it. The business is attractive because your return on investment is very fast. You invest so much money into a film. In the next 12 months, maybe in the next 24 months, you get your return on investment, and sometimes it could be 300 to 400%.
Right.
Which is why it's attractive for business people. Other than that, it's a gamble. It's a high failure rate business. Nobody's making, an apology about that. Now, the second part of the question. This particular film is well and truly the deep end of the swimming pool for us. Yeah, because I don't think anyone has attempted something at this scale, at this size ever, especially from our industry. And I knew halfway through writing the shoot script for this, I actually thought, this is not going to get made.
Really?
I thought this is not going to get made. Because I realized by the time I was 50% into writing the shoot script that I had really thrown the pebble way ahead. And for some reason, as a filmmaker, I was not able to sort of bring it back. I was not able to make it smaller. But full credit to him and my producer, Anthony Perumbao, for actually listening to the narration, fully understanding what it entailed, and then telling me, there are only two things we can do right now. Either we decide not to do this, or we go all out.
There's no compromise.
All out. We've gone all out. So I'm forever thankful that I was able to make this film. Because on a normal given day, a script like this is impossible to pull off from Malayalam industry.
Right. And then to get people from across the world, not just the country.
Yeah.
You have Abhimanyu Singh here, you have Nikhat ma'am here, of course Mohanlal sir is there, yourself. It's just an amalgamation of stars.
We have a lot of
actors. If I start to name everybody, I think the time for the interview will run out. So many quality actors. So I apologize that I cannot name all of them. Manju ma'am, of course, is there. But to get them all with their different styles of acting, different schools of acting, different industries, isn't it a dream for a director?
Without a doubt. I mean, if you ever ask me what has been my biggest privilege over my 3 directorials, it's been my opportunity to be able to direct such great actors. I mean, Lal sir is like the common factor in all 3 of my films. But even other than Lal sir, I've had the privilege of working with such amazing actors over my 3 films. And that is what I've enjoyed most as a filmmaker. Now, my films, except for our second film, which was a small rom-com,
right?
The first part of this franchise and the second part of this franchise, I think people will immediately associate with these big-ticket, large-scale visuals and all that. But what I've truly enjoyed in these 2 films as a filmmaker are the close-ups.
Right.
Nothing gives me more joy than when it is time to take a Mohanlal close-up. When there is a shot where I have to now, shoot a macro of his eyes or something. That is what I'm really excited, and he knows this also. And that's what I'm really excited about. Ram Gopal Verma sir recently said in an interview about a famous cinematographer making a remark that there is no visual more powerful in cinema than the close-up of a good performance. So I've been blessed that way to be able to shoot such amazing actors.
I'm going to ask you something. Is that I don't think there was a peak. You have always been on the peak. But in the 80s and 90s, you developed a very strong following playing the common man who was fighting for a cause, whether it was Bharatam, Kiridam or all these films. And as soon as I mentioned that I was coming to meet you and I could talk to you, few of the people who have watched you for 30, 40 years, they said, ask Mohanlal sir why he is not doing those common man films anymore. I know we love him in Empuraan and Lucifer also as his large scale Abraham.
No, this is like a Drishyam.
Drishyam. And I said Drishyam is there.
There is a very common film. I'm doing a film with Satya.
So how do you balance?
But that 80s, 90s, entire scenario changed. The culture, the common man's life, everything has changed.
Right. Everything is very, very large scale.
Not what common used to be.
I think we went from common man to aspiration. Everyone has to be.
See, when somebody asks the same question, I'll tell them, please go and watch the film again. That is the only thing we can do. It's time is evolving, time is fleeting, So we have to move with that. And some of that Drishyam is a common man's film.
It is.
And fighting for the justice, the Todiram, the next film. But in between, we have to do films like this also. Otherwise,
they'll ask you only do these kinds of films. I have to say, I love how the language barrier has faded. And I spoke to you around Salar and you said the same thing, that you don't look at language anymore.
Yeah.
You look at the film and the script. You have done films which were primarily Hindi language as well, a couple of them. Would you ever do a film thinking, oh, this is a Hindi film I want to do? Or you just look at the language? What is it? Or is Bollywood not enticing you anymore?
This is again, if you wish for a film, it won't come. It has to come. Then I'll wish. Let it come. Otherwise, I did a film called Company.
Right.
Ram Gopal. He saw only one film of mine. It's called Mandanam. That's all. I said, how can you ask me to do this role? No, I know.
See Vandanam and to cast you as really
I don't know. That is for Maniratnam. I asked him why. I have done his second film, but he cast later that film was known as MJR and Karnadidi. So how can he cast me as MJR? So I said, he said, I know, I don't know, but somehow I know that you can do it. So this is a blessing as an actor.
Wonderful for the time. Thank you, Mohanlal sir. Thank you, Prithviraj.
Thank you so much.
All the best for Empuraan, and I hope it is not just a bigger hit than Lucifer, but more loved than Lucifer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.